Let's cross live now to South Africa and speak to journalist Thabiso Lehoko, who's in Johannesburg. Thank you so much for joining us on the news tonight in Nigeria. Tell us about the rescue and cleanup effort, or the search and rescue effort. How's that going, and what's been done with survivors?
Thanks, Adesua and Amaka, and good evening to your viewers. Mopping up operations are continuing. Devastating KwaZulu-Natal floods are dealing a new blow to a recovering economy and businesses. This is following, if you may remember, last year in July, there was looting which took effect in that province of South Africa. We are talking about now $68.3 million in damages that the South African government has to foot into that province alone. And a total of more than 40,000 people have been affected. Today, the Minister of Water and Sanitation, Senzo Mchunu, briefed the media to say he had been planning to visit that particular province to assess what he referred to as aging infrastructure. Now, this comes at the backdrop of complaints and concerns to his department he had received. Now, he said it comes now as a devastation, because they are looking and had been looking to invest in infrastructure in that province to mitigate against the such which has come at a time not expected.
Well, I did see a video of President Cyril Ramaphosa when he did visit KwaZulu-Natal, where he did say climate change, as well as the depletion of the ozone layer, is responsible for this level of devastation that we're seeing. And that is quite unfortunate, because I remember in 2020, KwaZulu-Natal province had actually released a climate action plan, which actually outlined strategies to see cleaner energy, especially in Durban. 2 years on, do you think South Africa and Africa as a continent in general is doing enough really to fight climate change, so we avoid such occurrences where almost 400 people, like we have seen, are confirmed dead?
You know, this is a global question that you're posing to me. And KwaZulu-Natal, Durban, being such a province which invites an influx of visitors into South Africa, climate change has to be addressed widely insofar as that province is concerned in South Africa, as well as others. Let us not exclude others. The president, Cyril Ramaphosa, today, as he visited, as well as yesterday, he was there visiting the province. He committed funds, saying that funds would be allocated to KwaZulu-Natal, Durban, and they will be dispersed through the Disaster Management Fund. And the Minister of Finance also spoke of a reprioritization exercise to assist in this tragedy. And insofar as climate change is concerned, it is a global question, and it's affecting each and every country. Therefore, I understand where you are coming from, but let's also look at the statistics. 11,000 households have been affected, 395 fatalities, some 248 schools damaged, and choppers are being used to go into other affected areas. So, of course, what's happening there is a climate change issue, a global issue, and it has to be addressed on a global plateau, a national plateau, as well as a provincial plateau.
The Weather Service for South Africa has issued strong warnings for more destructive rains during this Easter weekend. What plans have been put in place to protect the people? Any plans at all?
You know, today the news came as a surprise to us to say flooding is expected again, and not only in KwaZulu-Natal, but also in the Gauteng province. These are two provinces last year, when looting ensued, had been at the behest of looting. Now this year again, this is happening. So it's actually a danger to the economy. Now these floods are a threat to residents in Gauteng province, residents in KwaZulu-Natal province again. In Gauteng province is minimal, but we are yet to see if the prediction is really as it has been put, that it will start as of this weekend. So by Monday, we should be talking a different story. Now, charity organizations are out in full force ensuring that affected persons in KwaZulu-Natal are being accommodated, supplied with food and basics and services. So let's see as time goes on. The mayor of eThekwini had been quoted, the mayor in Durban, as saying that teams are out in full force assisting in terms of aging infrastructure. But now another point is that angry residents are starting to blockade roads, putting the blame to government, saying, we have been telling you all along that this is a problem. Aging infrastructure is a problem. And not only in KwaZulu-Natal, but aging infrastructure is a problem in South Africa. Remember, in January, the Parliament of South Africa burned. It spoke again to aging infrastructure. So we cannot be pointing fingers to say, you are this, you are that. I think as South Africa, we have to deal with a problem, deal with infrastructure. It all speaks to a quotation that says, a stitch in time saves 9.
Absolutely. I can't even think of a better way to put it other than what you have just said. Well, 45 centimeters of rain in just 2 hours, which is, almost half of what South Africa usually would experience during an entire year. But you talked about a protest, and I do know that KwaZulu-Natal, sometime last year, there was that unfortunate incident when Jacob Zuma, former president, was jailed. Over 300 lives were lost. And now the people are going back to the streets, not just complaining about the warnings given to the government prior, but also the fact that facilities have not been restored and they're not getting enough help. So you who stay in South Africa, how's the help getting to these people, and what more can be done for the people affected?
The province we are talking about is one province which can set a precedent. If they are unhappy, this could filter into the whole of South Africa. So now it is up to the government of South Africa to ensure that they deal with the problem as of tomorrow, as of now, in actual fact. As much as the president has spoken to different government departments to say, let's take out funds which will not be utilized by the end of the year and disperse them through the disaster management fund, so that we ensure that that province in particular does get the right services right now. Let's go and make sure that we deal with infrastructure, because that's one province which can be very volatile, especially in this time. It can be volatile if you don't meet its services. It can be volatile if there is a natural disaster. It can be volatile as well as when government does not arrive to the occasion of its demands. So that's one province which can set a national precedence. And once that does not happen, it means that South Africa is going to see a national outcry.
Oh, Thabiso, thank you so much for joining us on the news tonight. Thabiso has been speaking to us on the destructive floods in South Africa. He joined us from Johannesburg.